today I really wanted to take us through what's called the customer value journey. This is a popular notion in marketing overall. So the first thing that any business needs to do is make sure that we have some awareness around what our business does.
Yeah.
And then the next part of the customer value journey is essentially engage. What are we doing as a company to get engagement with potential audience we're interested in? The next part of the journey is, how do we get people to subscribe to our business? How do we form that formal connection? The next phase is also one of my favorites. This is really where the specifics of your business are really going to come in. This is the convert phase. So ultimately with convert, it's all about shifting those subscribers and those prospective clients into an actual customer. And we got to get them to shift their mindset with us as much as possible. So it either is going to require time as a conversion for the user or a smaller commitment monetarily. This is where like first time client offers come in. So as an example, 5 for $45, if you're doing any sort of fitness classes, something like that, 5 for $50, 5 for $45, and that might be a discount on your services. That's always a great place in the fitness industry. Or X% off your first service. That's typically how we also get our first conversion. We can't be concerned with profitability quite yet because our goal is to get that person to then convert again. We need to make sure that we've got a roadmap for these conversions.
Yeah.
So that's an example of what it looks like to exchange value from a monetary standpoint and get that first time client in the door. Another example of exchanging time would be booking a tour of a facility that maybe you own or, are trying to get into. So it could be for memory care, it could be for co-working space, it could be for all sorts of different...
A podcast studio.
Yeah, book a tour. And then another one is potentially doing a free demo or a free discovery call if you're like more on the consulting side of things.
Yeah,
Like
or
maybe you're legal
Yeah.
or something along those lines. A free demo or free discovery call is a great offer to get people comfortable enough to approach you and start to essentially do that conversation and start to become a customer. Those first-time client intro offers are key, and that's your get in the door product. So don't think of that as like the end all be all sale. We're not concerned with that quite yet. And we're going to talk more about how do we keep building them up into a good customer.
Yeah.
So that's one piece, and I want you to fill that out. What does your business do already today to get that first-time client in the door and really make sure that it's very clear and that you and your employees are also on the same page about how do we start working with a new client, whether it's at our dog training facility or whether it's at our dental office. How do we start a new client coming in? For dentists, I know that teeth whitening, are definitely a good first-time client intro, but these all occur amongst all sorts of industries. So it's really important that we have that to entice users.
Yeah.
The next piece is excite.
Yay!
So how do we delight our customer that we've finally gotten, that we've engaged with, that we've gotten down our funnel essentially, and how do we excite and delight this customer? This is not something that we just one and done do. This is something that we actually need to do with every transaction. So examples of like exciting your customer could be, there's a great example about how a product company could have a whole set of directions or even an email website list that'll send an automated workflow as an example to excite.
What's another? Nurturing? Is that
lead nurturing,
Lead nurturing. Well, and I also think if they're interacting with you and your team, fantastic customer service. Nothing beats great customer service. And if you're not providing it, a lot of these steps don't matter. Unfortunately, like you got to treat your clients right and make sure that the people there that are, that work with you or that are, work for your company are treating them right. And lead management. Lead management is huge. Just nurturing and making sure to stay in contact. If they have a service, if they're getting a service done, you're calling back a couple days later or following up through text or email asking if they're okay. This is also a great time to ask for a review if they're just giving you glowing reviews. Like you really got to take that extra step and just reach out and make sure that they're good and that you actually, care about their business so they'll come back so that first time client acquisition ends up paying for itself with lifetime value.
Absolutely. You're all about the lifetime value.
It really matters. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this step, the devil's in the details on this one. So we really need to think of creative ways to delight and excite our customers and want them essentially coming back and and purchasing more from us. So we want to keep them liking us and essentially continue doing business with us. So excite is it's a very important one, and it's actually one of the most overlooked ones. So if you're filling out the worksheet and you're filling it out and finding, oh, I don't have a lot in my excite bucket, definitely take the opportunity to plan out where your touch points are with your customer, because I think it'll pleasantly surprise you in terms of income. The next stage is ascend. Yes. This is our goal as a business. It looks like a ladder for a good reason, which is you need to go ahead and write out all the ways that a customer can do business with you. Can they engage in partnerships? Can they potentially become a donor if they reach a certain level with you?
Can you give an example? Maybe our agency, what does ascension look like for you? And just a couple other.
We'll do other prospective clients too, but like essentially with agencies, a lot of times I'll offer a free discovery call. So that's my intro offer essentially. And then a lot of times too, I even have an introductory project that we'll bring in to make sure that we have all the information to make good decisions about how to work with us again.
Right.
As an example of like ascension for us as an agency, it looks like getting into a marketing program where we're doing and implementing some of these things to get that ROI.
Yeah.
Or it could look like a website. Say our offers and our business just don't align with what's on the website today. We need to make sure that foundation is there.
Yeah.
So website is typically actually at the bottom, and then marketing can be at the top, just depending on where they are.
Right.
And then additionally, consulting could be another one. So making sure those are our core offerings.
Right. So the convert is either book a discovery call.
Yep.
Or do like a marketing audit project.
Marketing audit. Absolutely.
So that's our convert. Okay. And then ascend means, okay, now you're going to be working with us monthly, or maybe we're going to do a big website project or any.
Those are great examples.
Yep. Okay, great. Now, what about other services?
For like other potential businesses?
Okay. Yeah.
So an example for fitness, a lot of times it's a first time client offer. So sometimes it's get your first free class, or it's pay a certain amount to get a couple of classes to try this out. And then typically when we're in the ascend stage and really mapping out, well, what are our offerings? If it's in fitness, a lot of times it's group classes. Sometimes it's once a month group classes, 4 times a month group classes. Like you've got your class packages typically. Sometimes in fitness you have private offerings too. That's higher up on the ladder.
Yeah, memberships, VIP clubs,
absolutely.
Just getting them back in again and spending more money.
And if you also have a fitness studio, as an example, like merch is actually, having some retail, make sure that that's on your ascension map. All of your offerings and all of the ways that you can actually transact with your clients, that should be mapped out in Ascend so that you know exactly what types of offerings that you have, and you want to make sure that your staff is on the same page about what type of offerings you have. Those conversations internally are going to be really interesting, and you may see that opportunities for new offerings will arrive as well.
This is also just based on what I've seen with a lot of my clients. This is where it kind of drops off, and really where the price of marketing just ends up going up, because you're acquiring these first-time clients, you're getting them to convert once, whatever that may be, but you're not getting them back.
Great point.
It's harder to get somebody to try you the first time, but if they've already tried you, they've already said, hey, we trust you, we're giving you money, why are we not trying to get them back in? Why are we not making that a priority? And this is something that I see so much with my clients that they're just not doing. And understandably, running a business is hard. You have lots of different aspects, not just marketing to worry about, but this is really where all of your marketing dollars that you've been paying are going to really work out for you and just get you more revenue.
No, that's a wonderful, wonderful point, is that, I heard at a conference a few years ago, marketers give up way too soon. And I think that also extends to business owners to some degree, that something didn't work after 5 minutes and it's not working. I think the issue is that we're not aligned on the goal here. The goal is to get the first time conversion, and then inside the business. And I think marketing agencies need to help and give more clarity to business owners in that business owners need to nurture those leads and nurture those clients and get them back into the fold. Yeah. And that's where profitability is realized. Yeah. So as an example, say somebody does your first time workout. Hey, Janine, how did you like your class?
Right.
Tell me about it. I want to hear all about it. And taking a genuine interest and then seeing, hey, do you want to sign back up for a monthly or, monthly classes, or what sounds right to you? How can we help inform your fitness journey?
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
So those are examples. Yeah. Those are examples of how to get people back in line, and we need to keep our customers coming back.
And maybe it's I've definitely thrown up the idea out to some of my clients, and they've done it, and it's helped is getting just a little bit. Give them a little bit of a discount for their next time coming in, right? Oh, yeah. Getting them in that second time and then that third time, that's what you need to do. And sometimes you just gotta, and I'm not saying it's not going to be nearly as much as the first time client offer, but maybe it's just a little something, just leave a review for us and give, a credit, right? And maybe not just giving them something right away, but giving them a credit that makes them come back.
You just literally took us back into the next piece, which there's a send. So those are all your offerings. And then the next piece, there's 2 pieces. I kind of merge them together a little bit, but it's advocate and promote.
Yeah.
And essentially advocate is when you actually reach out to your clients and you say, how was your experience? Would you mind leaving a review? Would you mind doing a video testimonial? Would you essentially getting your advocates or your customers happy to passively promote your business? And that's where reviews come in. That's where review incentives come in. Honestly, have them share it to their local network.
Yeah, word of mouth is
because referrals and word of mouth are so critical.
They still are.
And that's actually, I think, the big part that's missing from digital.
Yes.
That's a big, big part.
1,000%. I hear it. I mean, referrals just in general, I listened to some podcasters and he was talking about his hiring practices, and he only hires based on people he knows, like people that he trusts has said, hey, hire these people because of X, Y, Z. And I think that now these days, I think that there's a little bit more mistrust with digital when people see it. They need to see that social proof from others. And then
proof is
also
huge.
Face-to-face and talking, right? Like I know that there's lots of services that I have not tried until I knew and talked to somebody and said, they're like, yes, they are good at cutting hair, or yes, they're good at waxing eyebrows. Because I can't, I got to talk to somebody. And so really making them advocates for, making them advocates, and that. And what are those examples, right? Maybe a loyalty program, right?
Absolutely.
A referral program.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Does your company have a loyalty program? Does your company have some sort of referral program? Does your company, ask if you're a hair salon, are we taking pictures before and afters? Right. Are we providing incentives for doing those before and afters? So every type of business can have an advocate strategy and actually can be one of your most successful marketing metrics. And that's actually in some cases free. Yeah. So we need to take advantage and do some of the marketing with our current clients. Would
you also count influencers, like influence marketing, affiliate marketing?
So that's where promote comes in.
Ah, yes. Okay, sorry, I keep going, not even meaning to.
Yeah. So that's where promote comes in. So advocates are typically people that you've done business with that are a little more passive, but promoters are considered, a lot of times it's influencers or somebody who might own a website and be an affiliate for you. Yep. So if you have an affiliate marketing program for selling your products, I would say that an affiliate program that helps people essentially find out more about you and is more word of mouth focused. Oh, hi. So essentially, advocate is usually with people that you currently work with that feel comfortable sharing their experience, and you can essentially, put out offers and incentives for them to share their experiences. And promote is typically when you're either paying or giving some sort of incentive. So affiliate marketing is when you as a company say, hey, website, or hey, influencer, for every sale that you get, I will give you a share of that sale. That's affiliate marketing. Also, just salesmanship in general. So that's influencing. Sometimes influencers will charge, a flat fee for doing a video for you. Yeah. But they'll share it to their networks. ultimately we want a good portion of our sales to be coming from referral advocates and promoters. And a lot of times that piece is also forgotten.
Yes.
So in our goal today, I mean, I want to bring it back to the original reason is that I want to promote business resiliency as we get through some of these kind of uncertain times.
Turbulent times.
Yeah. And so I know that growth is not necessarily what everybody's focused on this second. I think everybody's kind of focused on making sure, hey, is my business going to live through some of these changes? And so back to basics, go ahead and figure out what is that journey and where do you need to put your time into marketing strategy, into filling in the holes of the leaky boat with that so that you can become more profitable. I think at this moment in time, as business owners, we need to be concerned about our profitability right now and less about, I'd say, just expansion and growth because we have some choppy waters to navigate. So the customer value journey is a great place to start. We're happy to help you do it. We're happy to help in any way as far as strategy or coming up with new ideas. And at the end of you doing that customer value journey, you really need to sit down and say, what's doable and what is worth my time? Is this going to be, a lot of time and it's only going to yield a little bit, or is it going to be low amount of time that I have to put in and is it going to get great results? So make sure to prioritize. Again, we can help you with that, but that's really going to help to inform what it is you need.
Yep.
And search engine optimization and pay-per-click ads and videos, that all comes after you've figured out how is it that we do business with our customers. Those are the tactics, but this is the strategy for your business that you kind of have to go back to basics on.
Yeah, and it's just really just planning it. You know the phrase, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And
I like that one.
Yeah, and I really find that to be true just in my own, in my own career. And this is what I see with a lot of small and medium business owners is just not fully understanding this. And that's where we can help. So like Darci said, it'll be in the link below. We'll have that for you. And if you need to talk more about it and if you identify those holes, we're definitely here.
Yeah. We just want to help business owners essentially be more resilient. This is a tough time. So I definitely get it. Definitely get it.
Okay.
Thanks so much.